Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Basement Show with Mr. Knast. I am Mr. Knast. Joining me tonight. Tonight is
Ron. What's up, everybody?
these weekends go by too quick anymore. I gotta say, but
Yeah,
we're back for
they
another
do.
fun weekend. I mean, hope everyone had a good weekend. We start this week on a somber note. Ron lost his childhood idol today. If no one else had heard about it, the great Pee Wee Herman passed away today at the age of 70. So, I mean, Ron, if you want to take
Yeah,
a second and say something,
yeah,
feel free.
yeah. He died of cancer. He was 70 years old. He was, I'll say, an innovator. I mean, he really kind of broke the mold when it came to comedy, which it was geared towards both children and adults. So, I think that between his movies and his involvement with Tim Burton, with a few movies, onto the brilliance of Pee Wee's Playhouse and the innovations that he created. I think he never really got quite the credit that he deserved, just because people were embarrassed to say that they liked him. But I have no such problem with it. I think he was a genius, and I followed his career from pretty much the very beginning, when he started out at stand-up, on through all the television movies and all the way to the end. So, R.I.P.
I just figured we start the show with that. I know how much how much you enjoyed his comedy and all that stuff. We have talked about it a couple times on the show, so I figured why not start it with that.
Absolutely.
Got Curtis in the chat from the mountains. He's on family vacation right now, and he pops in.
Hey, Curtis. No, wait, you should do it the right way. Hey, Curtis. Curtis.
Oh, since he's echoing from the
Since
mountains,
he's in the mountain. Yeah, see? Yeah.
That makes sense.
Got it? Yeah, you're sticking right with me here tonight, man. That's a good thing.
I mean, I did get 7 hours of sleep last night. Maybe I'm actually more awake than I
Oh,
thought.
well. You
Look
beat
at
me by a couple.
Well, I made up for it the night before, being up till 3 o'clock in the morning and back up 7 o'clock. So.
Yeah, that'll do it. Somewhere along the line, your body will let you know that was a mistake.
It tells me every other day.
Yeah.
But the great news is 2 more days of work, and I am on vacation myself for 12 days. Let's go.
Nice. Phillies scored another run. They're up 4-2.
Nice.
Going into the bottom of the 8th.
Okay. And these are games they need to win because they're playing Miami this week.
Yeah, they have to get the jump on this series. They lost last series to the Marlins, 1-2, right?
Yes.
So yeah, they need to make up that one game, for sure. Just in case they have a tiebreaker going into the wild cards.
Yep. Got Diamond on Twitch. Good evening, Diamond. Hey, Mr. Knast and Ron, how are you doing today? Doing all right. Just getting home from work. Starting another fun week on the Basement Show.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Doing just fine.
I figured we can touch on the Phillies a little bit because they lost another road series this past weekend.
To the Pittsburgh stinking Pirates.
Yes.
I don't understand how he could beat Baltimore 2 out of 3, and then go into Pittsburgh and just totally look like a little league team. You know, I mean that error yesterday with that ball dropping between Turner and Sosa, ridiculous. I mean, base running errors, basic fundamental stuff.
Yeah, well, Trey Turner's walking himself right out of Philly after this year if he keeps up his shit.
Well, that'd be kind of tough since he has an 11-year contract.
Yeah, just a smidge. I know you mean.
Yeah, and ain't nobody signing up for that right now. You just got to hope it's kind of like what happened with a lot of other players.
That is true.
A lot of big ticket players that first year they come to a new city, they have a tendency to struggle. It happened to A-Rod. I mean, it happened to Harper. Really, I mean, Harper had a decent year his first year, but it wasn't a Harper year.
That is
You know,
true. I will give you that.
so I mean, it is documented that it does happen sometimes. So hopefully, he can put it together coming up into the playoffs. And you know, I know he's been on base twice tonight so far,
Well,
but
that's good.
yeah, it's getting kind of tough. Now I jumbled up the lineup again today. You had Schwarber leading off. You moved Bohm up to second, and then it
Wow.
was Harper and then JT at 4, and then Castellanos had the night off, so they had who was at 5? I don't remember who was at 5, but Turner was at 6, and then Jake Cave is playing first base tonight because they said Harper has general soreness. That was the only explanation that was given. So hoping
Interesting.
it's not an injury, hoping it's just because he is still DHing, but decided not to play the field tonight. So they moved Marsh over to right field, and you got Sosa playing in center, and then Schwarber in right. I mean, in left.
Hmm.
But Jake
Well,
Cave's at first tonight.
interesting. Because looking at this, they have Schwarber, Bloom, Harper, Remuto, Scott, Cave, Rojas, Turner batting eighth, and then Marsh batting ninth.
Okay. So they changed it from the order that they put out um, early this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, um, because they had Turner at 6. So,
Okay.
okay. Well, that's fine. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, Chris?
Evening, Chris. Nice to see you. But yeah, that's just a weird lineup.
Well, I got to shake something up, man. It's just there's over the weekend they scored 12 runs. They had 46 men on base, and they only scored 12 runs.
I know when I watched a little bit on Friday at Allen and Shannon, they had bases loaded, one out, and nothing.
Yeah. Well, they had that one play on Sunday with Harper starting to tag up, and then he's on third, goes to tag up to score, and then stops, and Bohm doesn't see him stop, so Bohm gets caught in a rundown, and then Harper tries for the plate and gets thrown out. So they ended up they would have had first and third and one out, and they ended up running right out of the inning. So, I mean,
That's,
again, it's just the fundamentals that they're killing themselves. It's bad enough they can't get a hit with runners in scoring position, but then you got to turn around and erase some of the runners you have on just stupid base running.
yeah. Evening, Mike. Nice to see you. Big Mike in the house.
I agree, Chris. Yeah, hey, Mike. Yeah, they're really killing themselves. They need to snap out of it, starting with today.
So far, so good. I mean, 4-2 bottom of the eighth. You got 6 outs to get. Can they do it? We'll see.
Now, you never know till it's over with this team.
They're
You know.
playing like the bad news bears. There's a good analogy for you.
Well, that play where that ball dropped yesterday, yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
we shall see.
that was totally bad news Bears. So
I think
yeah,
depending on what they do tonight, it might depend on what you see tomorrow. Because everybody who is a baseball fan knows what tomorrow is. The trade deadline.
yes, it is. But I think the more and more I look at it, I really don't think that they're going to make a major move. I mean, there's really not that many position players out there. that would really fit what they need right now. There's a couple, but they're not those frontline guys. I mean, it looks like now Sosa's not going to move from San Diego, and it looks like um, Goldschmidt's not moving. I mean, right now, I mean, the biggest moves that were made was the Mets trading Scherzer to Texas and basically paying 100% of his salary.
Yeah, another Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, not quite that, but Bobby Bonilla. Nobody will ever make a deal like that ever again.
Turner has been a letdown and has issues and problems. And then Chris says, I think they need a better center fielder than Brandon Marsh.
Hey, Brandon Marsh is an excellent defensive center fielder, and actually, you may actually see him slide over when, if and when something happens with Schwarber, when they can eventually move Schwarber into the DH role on a permanent basis. I think you'll probably see Marsh in left, and who will be a definite upgrade over Schwarber, and Rojas in center, and Castellanos in right. But yeah, I think Marsh has actually had a decent year. I mean, he's hitting a lot better than he did last year. Towards the end of last year, he was struggling. But no, I think the Marsh has had a really respectable year as far as statistically and definitely with the glove. I mean, he's not gonna hurt you with the glove. That was really the main reason they got him, was for his defense. Because remember, before he came along, we were staring down the barrel of Odubel Herrera. So,
what his number at the plate?
hang on, I'll tell you 1 second.
You gonna look that one up?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, I'm looking for the trade deadline moves so far. It seems like it's been pretty busy.
Not as busy as I thought it was going to be. Well, the Angels made a couple acquisitions today, which probably shows you that they're not getting rid of Ohtani right now, and they're trying to build a team around him to make him not leave. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But the one interesting thing is that if they decide to keep Ohtani, I mean, there's a real good chance that they may put Mike Trout out there. And if you put Mike Trout out there, there's only two places he's going to go. He's going to go to the Mets, or he's going to go to the Phillies.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wants him back in Philly to play for his hometown team. So, I mean, the man has Eagles season tickets after all.
Marsh is batting .282,
which
is pretty respectable. It's probably like third best on the team. Yeah. He's only 2 points under Alec Boehm.
Man, so I would definitely hold on to Marsh. I mean, yeah, everyone has bad days, but Marsh has proven that he is like a good, reliable defensive player, and then his bat, when you need him, is starting to come around. So,
I mean, Harper's only batting .291. I mean, it's not that far off.
He didn't think it was that high, so.
Yeah. No, he's having a much better year this year than he had at the end of last year. He did some work in the offseason with the hitting coach. So, yeah, nobody misses Odubel around here, that's for sure.
No. Not with all the drama that brought around, no.
Yep. So
Mets are trading Mark Kahana to the Brewers for a double-A pitcher. So the Mets fire sale continues. I mean, I know they traded David Robertson over the weekend, like you said, Max Scherzer. There's rumors that they're maybe looking to move Justin Verlander.
Yeah, that's very possible.
I mean, talk about blowing the team up after spend.
they spend an outrageous amount of money, but it just goes to show you can't buy a championship. You just can't. I mean, as
No,
much as
absolutely.
teams try, I mean, if that was the case, the Mets and the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Red Sox would be the Red Sox are last in their division, aren't they? Or close.
They're close. I know that.
They're either
they
them
are
or the
last.
Yankees,
Huh?
and they both have Uber payrolls.
Well, it's kind of funny. I'm looking at it right here. The Yankees are 55-50 in last place with 9 games out in the AL East. Okay, and then the New York Mets are 50-55.
Yeah.
So between the two of them, they're a 500 team.
Yeah.
Which,
That's just if you had went to me at the beginning of the season and said, yeah, the AL East will have the Yankees and the Red Sox at the bottom and Baltimore at the top, I would have said, okay, yeah, okay. Whatever you're smoking, better have some more.
yeah, because the Red Sox they're 56-49, so they're only
Yeah.
one game better than New York.
Yeah, I'd
Yankees
be curious how many years it's been since Baltimore had a 100-win season. It's probably been a long, long time.
Well, let's see. I can. Last time
You probably have to go back into the 90s.
Let's see, 100 games. Last time,
maybe even into the 80s.
Let's see, team history. I will look it up real quick.
Yep.
The 1980 on the nose.
Yeah. Okay.
162.
Yep.
And then the year prior, 1979, they were 102 and 57.
Yep.
So you're talking the late 60s, the 80s was their 100-win seasons.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's when Frank Robinson and the tail ended. Well, probably the tail end of Jim Palmer. Now, Palmer was probably done by then, but yeah, I mean those Orioles teams back in the day. I mean, they had a lot of talent and they always had strong pitching.
Yes, and they haven't been in the playoffs since 2016. So,
Cody Ash is the hitting coach? Really?
I think you meant Cody Robinson.
There is Cody Robinson. No.
Don't know who that is. I have to look him
There
up.
is no Cody Robinson. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. It is nice to see Baltimore doing well. I'm happy for them. When you build a team the right way, young drafting, signing those not so big free agents who gel well with young players, this is the type of result you're going to get.
Brooks Robinson. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean.
Yeah, Brooks Robinson would have been probably more into the 70s. Yeah. But yeah, he was great because Brooks Robinson and Mike Schmidt were in the league at the same time. So late 70s into the early 80s, probably. Yeah, for sure.
I like
Cody
Ash. Odell Rushman. I think that's
ex-Philly Cody Ash.
Yeah, I mean, he was what, late early 2000s?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was here for a couple years. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see, Cody.
If I'm remembering correctly.
I was saying 2 seconds.
Okay.
Cody Ash, we have. He was on the Phillies as a player from 2013 to 2016.
Okay.
So he's actually young for a coach. He's only 33.
Yeah.
Wow. He could still play.
He played center field. See, I don't remember a lot of him playing center field. That's why, for some reason, my brain jumps from Gary Maddox to,
Lenny
Dykstra.
Well, let's see. Philadelphia Phillies. Let's see. I said 2013, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Uh, 2013 Phillies. We have roster. So in the outfield that year, you had, well, he's on here. So he must have been in the minor league system in 20. Oh, he was actually an infielder. He had Kevin Franzen, Freddie Galvez, Ryan Howard, Pete Wood, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, and Michael Young. So, I mean,
Yeah. Well,
more like
remember
a reserve player.
you had Dominic Brandt. Well, you said Chris is saying he might have been in the minors a lot for the Iron
Probably.
Pigs. Amber with a hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys. Sorry.
There you go. Nice. Welcome in, Amber. Yeah, but remember you have to throw Dominic Brown in there for a little bit too.
Yeah, he was in that outfielder that year. You had Ben Revere, Cesar Hernandez, who was a backup center fielder.
Well, he was a shortstop. He was a utility guy, but he primarily played the infield. Cesar Hernandez.
True.
He was second base shortstop primarily.
Makes my day whenever you do that. Thank you. Because that was the year that they started with Charlie Manuel as manager 2013, but then he was let go halfway through the season, and Ryan Sandberg took over.
Yep.
That team was a mess. Oh, yeah.
The worst throw-in in Phillies trade history was
here we go.
Ryan Sandberg, who Dallas Green went to the Chicago Cubs when he left the Phillies, and they made a trade where they traded Larry Boa for Ivan DeJesus. And Dallas Green said, yeah, why don't you just throw in that kid Sandberg that you have down in the minors? And they did. And then he went to the Hall of Fame.
We really got to bring that up.
Hey, I'm just saying.
He was traded along with Bo to the Chicago Cubs for Ivan DeJesus prior to the 1982 season. The trade now reckoned as one of the most lopsided deals in baseball history.
Absolutely.
Came about after negotiations for a new contract between Boa and the Phillies broke down. Most lopsided deals in baseball history.
Yeah, you got Boa and Sandberg basically for Ivan DeJesus, who, never really, set the world on fire in Philly. And, between Boa and, Sandberg's in the Hall of Fame, and, maybe someday in the Veterans Committee, it's possible Boa could get in there because he had the numbers, the offensive numbers, and his fielding percentage was, one of the highest in Major League history at shortstop.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what's this? He was.
He had like a 990. He had like a 990 something fielding percentage.
Yeah, I mean his batting average wound up at 260, but he had over 2,100 hits, only 15 home runs, and 525 RBIs. But someone like Bo was always towards the top of a lineup, so he was more that contact hitter, get on base type of guy.
And he scored a lot of runs. And the other thing with Boa is that he lived in the shadow of Ozzie Smith. So when it came to All-Star games and all that stuff, Ozzie Smith was in the All-Stars every year, doing his backflips and shit. And Boa got kind of overshadowed by that.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't call him the Wizard for nothing. I mean, Ozzy was good. You gotta give him that.
Yeah, he was.
But I'm just curious to see what the Phillies.
He's lucky he stuck that every night, because the first time he tried that and he missed, that would have been the last he'd ever do it, because the team would shut him down.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't need your starting, shortstop to, break an ankle, doing some acrobatic trick, that means nothing to the game.
No, Just a way to show off.
It's like the NFL player that's out for the season because he had a jet ski accident right before training camp.
Yeah, a very big piece to the Buffalo Bills offense.
Yep.
You're talking Naheem Hines. I mean,
Yep.
we can jump into football now if you want, unless you want to talk some more baseball.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll have more to talk about next week if they make any moves. But I just have a feeling that you're really not going to see a lot from the Phillies end at this point. I think at this point they're just going to hope that they shake it off and they get the ship righted. They might make a little minor move here or there, but I don't think they're going to make any kind of big impact move. But with Dombrowski, you never know. I mean, he's shocked people before. I'm sure he could do it again.
What's up? Oh, I got it.
You got it. You got it this time.
I forgot to say the embarrassment of doing your dining room. I mean, if you want to do it, feel free.
Nah, you already covered it.
That one belt. Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right, hold on. I have to be in the right position. Voila!
Touche. And then he says, Kelly Green.
Yeah, the Kelly Green jerseys were released today. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in football talk.
Yep. I might have to get me one of them.
In time.
Yep.
It might be interesting. Verlander.
Yeah, I heard the Verlander thing. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's Justin Verlander, but I mean, he's getting up there. He's going to cost you about $40 million. The only way I could possibly see that is if they decide that they're going to move on from Aaron Nola. And the Phillies just do not walk away from homegrown talent. So it's going to be a really tough call from Nola. The guy pitches over 200 innings a year. Verlander's, been hurt a couple times this year. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if you make that kind of investment in a guy that old.
Yeah.
Has he got maybe a little bit left in the tank? Yeah, maybe. Not $40 million worth.
True. And Chris beat me to the punch. The Phillies held on to 1-4-2.
Nice.
So then Dark's saying he might have to get me 4. I mean, guys. So I mean, there are some major league players who are getting up there in age that can still produce, sure, but
true.
You have
not many are pitchers though.
No.
I mean, you look at starting pitchers that have been successful after 40, and it's a very short list. A very short list. Phil Niekro. Nolan Ryan.
Yep.
Not too many other ones come to mind right off the top of my head. And that was in a different era.
True.
These days you don't see Jack Morris. Yeah, okay. But he was starting to tail off at the end too. But he was still quality though. I agree with you there, Mike.
And right now the Angels are beating the Atlanta Braves. Let's go.
Yeah. Ohtani had a game, a series last week where he pitched I think 6.5 innings of 4-hit ball, and then the next night hit 2 homers.
Yeah, doubleheader game.
Yeah, maybe it was. It was doubleheader. That's right. One half of the doubleheader he pitched, and the other half he hit 2 homers.
Crazy.
Yep.
Matt
Randy Johnson. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
He was dominant, but I feel like he tailed off.
Well, I mean, his velocity was off the charts. I mean, ask that pigeon
Oh God,
that
the
he
infamous
creamed.
pigeon.
Oh my God. I still look at that video and I'm astounded. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Can you bring that up?
I'm gonna see if I can find it. Yes.
Because that was just the craziest thing ever. I got to tell you. In baseball history, it's probably one of the things that was just blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. I would not want to bat against him. Just ask John Crook; he'll tell you.
John Crook in the All-Star game.
No, yeah, there you go, just for you.
Here we go.
Smack. Oh man, I just so wrong.
Play it. There it goes. It's gonna play again.
Yep, in slow motion too. Oh.
Boom. What are the chances?
Look at I love the catcher's reaction. Like, oh my God.
Because he's probably got beak all over him. He's like, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, and guys that like got hit by a pitch that he threw like 103 miles an hour. Holy crap. I mean, my brother in Little League got a broken arm from a hit by pitch. And in Little League, they're throwing like a quarter of that speed.
True.
You know?
And then you have this one, the infamous All-Star game.
John Crook just wanted to go right to the dugout after that.
Yep. Talk about sweet chin music, right?
Yep.
And then, let's see if I can fast forward just a little bit. This was actually in the Phillies 1993 year in review video. It was the hilarious thing you've ever watched.
He's just up there going, just don't hit me.
Yep, I'm done. Take a bow.
Yep, thank you. Randy's just chuckling as he's walking off the mound. That's hilarious.
And then who would have thought that he would have joined an expansion team in the Arizona Diamondbacks, and then 2 years later be a number 2 basically behind Kurt Schilling, and they beat the New York Yankees in 7 games.
Yep.
Luis Gonzalez walk-off single. I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Showing my age.
Yeah. Well, no comment.
We'll try to be nice and not man-childish tonight. I get it. It's cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. Because, we may or may not be sensitive to that whole age thing,
Yeah, right?
So I didn't think it's good they got the win tonight, but they got to keep it going.
Absolutely. 100%.
This series is important.
That's an understatement. I mean, these are the games that you have to win.
Yeah. Well, when you give 2 out of 3 away to, the likes of the Pittsburgh Pirates, then, who are in last place in their division.
True. MC. Oh no, Darth means by MC.
Yep. So.
But then the other fun Philly sport is back as well.
Okay.
And that is training camp has started. Football season.
Yes, it has. Yep. Got first preseason game is probably in about a week, a little over a week, like a week and a half.
Yeah. August 13th?
12th or 15th or
let's see. August
maybe the
12th.
12th, right. Yep.
Versus Baltimore.
There you go. And it looks like Baltimore may be looking at the possibility of losing their lead running back because he has requested a trade.
Who, Dobbins?
Jonathan Taylor wants out of I'm thinking of Indianapolis. Wrong Colts.
It's okay.
Wrong Colts. But
Hall of
I
Fame.
had the Colts uniform in my brain.
Gotcha.
But Jonathan Taylor from the Colts has requested a trade and could very well end up in Miami. That is a distinct possibility.
We shall see.
The Hall of Fame game is this Thursday? Really?
They do it now tonight. Yep.
Yeah, who's playing in that?
The New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns.
The Jets and the Browns. So they put the Jets in it because it's Hard Knocks.
Yeah, well, that and I think they have Revis going into the Hall of Fame this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The NFL.
Zeke visits the Patriots. Yeah.
Yep.
Stevenson's their guy. He's not going anywhere. Zeke is washed, in my opinion. What do you think about that, John?
I mean, it could be an intriguing signing, but I agree with you. I think Stevenson is the guy that they're going to build around. But if you can bring somebody in like Zeke on like a 1 year deal to maybe take some of that workload off Stevenson, plus we all know that Belichick had like a running back committee, so it could be a fit.
Yeah.
So, what's up, fellas? Evening work. We just started talking about some football news. So, you have
Hey,
anything
Jack.
that you would like to add? Feel free
Hey,
to
Mark.
add it. Evening, Mr. Jack. And it sounds like Cook is going to be a Jets. That is the possibility because he did visit them in camp yesterday, and Bryce Hall, the second-year running back, is on the pup list right now. So it makes the most sense to bring in somebody, Dalvin Cook. Do I think they need him? No, but it is a very distinct possibility that he does wind up with the Jets.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the be wait and see what happens. But
yeah, but that the thing is with running backs right now is there's such a big big thing going on in the league with running backs and contracts. So when they had their big secret conference call last week, there was no secret.
Yeah.
But then magically the next day, 2 running backs get signed. Funny
and
how that happens.
Two get signed, yes, and then another one gets a bonus incentive in his contract that I heard about today.
Yeah.
Apparently,
who was that one?
Eckler got some incentive from the Chargers.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that makes sense why it's Jets and Browns because your Hall of Fame class this year, you have Rondé Barber, Darrell Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Don Coyle, Chuck Howley, Joe Klecko, and Ken Riley. So Revis and Thomas are your top 2.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope Dallas doesn't pay Zach Martin and he sits out. The Fools for not paying him. Absolutely. I mean, Zach Martin's probably one of the best right guards in the league, so he deserves to be paid like one. Hey, you don't want to pay him? Send him to Philly. We'll use him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, everyone's picking the Jets to make the playoffs. I don't think Rodgers is going to have a great year with the Jets. The guy's old and he looked like crap with the Packers last year. He looked like crap because he wanted to get out of Green Bay.
Yeah, he was mentally checked out of Green Bay. I mean, he had so many problems with the organization, but I mean, that's not to say he's not going to have the same problem with the Jets. I mean, he's for lack of a better word, he's a crybaby. I mean, he's a guy who was great. He's not so great anymore, but he thinks he still wields the big hammer. And, the only place where he could possibly still wield a hammer was by going to the Jets. because otherwise he would have went somewhere else. He's going to essentially a non-contender. I mean, yeah, they had some bright spots last year. They had a couple nice rookie draft picks that panned out pretty well. But I mean, they're not going to magically turn into not the Jets. Seriously, I mean, they're still the Jets.
That is true. Dak says for them to pay him, he should restructure his deal to help them keep Martin. Makes sense. That makes absolute perfect sense.
Yeah, because Dak's stealing money as it is.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Dak can't make a playoff game, and he's making $40 million a year. Go figure.
Very, very true.
Can't win a playoff game since 1993.
Yeah, well, what? Dak or the Cowboys?
The Cowboys.
They won the Super Bowl in '96.
Well, 96.
My 9th birthday.
Yeah, sorry. It was in the 90s, okay?
It was. I will give you that.
It was still on VHS.
Yeah, that is true. I will give you that. I'm trying to see.
But I think if they were going to do that, they would have done it by now. Because they really needed to get him into training camp. I mean, they can't afford him to be sitting at home putting the fat suit on like James Harden.
Yeah, please don't get me started.
Eating 6 cheeseburgers in a sitting.
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
so I don't know how that's going to pan out, but if they're going to do something, they better do it pretty soon. Because they got to get him in. Got to get him into camp.
So, since we're speaking about Dak real quick, my friends had put this in our group chat. I just sent it to myself so I can upload it. Okay. Dak Prescott is in real season form already. I'm gonna see if I can blow this up so everyone can see it. Watch how bad this pass is.
Wait.
Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, go. Yeah, that's normal, Dak.
There's your $35 million Dak Prescott throwing a duck in the 2-on-1 coverage right through a defender.
Yep.
I mean,
he, look at his interception rate last year, and he missed 4 games.
Yeah.
And he still almost led the league in interceptions.
Oh, I'm going to throw under 14 interceptions this year, right? Yeah, throwing shit like that, you're not going to.
Well, just to let you know, I will lay money that Micah Parsons does not re-sign with Dallas, and I will lay money that he will be a Philadelphia Eagle. He has already been laying the groundwork. He's been in Philly a couple of times already, laying this groundwork. There is no doubt in my mind that he wants to play for Philly. So I say there's no way he re-signs with Dallas. Not that Dallas would spend the money to re-sign him.
Okay. I mean, we shall see. Plus, he's a Penn State guy. That is a good point. Ron, I will take your word for it. I mean, he has expressed interest in coming.
Wait a second. Wait. Anytime you say Penn State, I have to counter it.
Okay, but we're talking about the same person right now. We're talking about Micah Parsons. Yes, he's a Penn State guy. Makes him a local guy.
Yes.
So that's the only reason I'm saying those magic words. I'm sorry.
Stop saying the P word. Just don't say the N word.
Well, here, I'll just leave this up there for the rest of the night. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, okay.
And Joyce making fun of practice. We're talking about practice.
Well, at this time of year, that's all we can talk about is practice.
That is true. Bringing the Philly, our defense would be insane. Yes.
Could you imagine putting Micah Parsons in the middle of this defense right now?
Definitely be scary.
It would be extremely scary.
He's calling you a man child. Oh, he might be calling me one. I don't know. But since we're on the Eagles right now and all that stuff, how about these crazy lunatics this morning? Please tell me you saw this on the news.
Lining up 3-4 hours to get a Kelly Green jersey.
Why? It's a jersey.
Yeah, but it's first time they've been available in a long, long time.
31 years.
Yeah. Well, it's
They're from the
31 years to
92 season.
Eagles fans that, you know, they've been fighting to get the Kelly Green back for years, and they haven't been able to do it, and they finally got it cleared. So I'm going to get one. I guarantee.
But would you
I'll
wait
have
at
one.
3 o'clock in the morning for one? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm not
There was
sleeping anyway. I might as well do something.
there was 500 people outside Lincoln Financial Field 3 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
I'm sorry. That's like me waiting for a video game. What kind of asshole does that? Especially on a Monday morning. Don't
You
people
speak
have
as if
jobs?
you've never done it
What, for sports stuff?
for a video game.
Well, video games, you pick the game up at midnight, you go home.
But you've been out at a store at midnight to get a video game. I don't lie.
Yeah.
So that's relatively somewhat the same thing.
All right. I plead the fifth.
Yeah. The only thing I ever camped out for was a mortgage. When I bought my first house, right, back in the day, they had a first-time home buyers program, but there was only a limited amount that was available. So I actually camped out for 2 days at the mortgage company and pitched, had a tent. And for 2 days, I was third in line at the mortgage company. And there were actually 2 people in front of me. That's the crazy part. And I got my first mortgage, and that percentage rate, at the time, the percentage rate was about 12%, let's say. Okay.
Oh, geez.
This mortgage was for 3.
Wow.
So, but I got it. So
Amen.
It was worth camping out for 2 days. And it was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
All the people that were in line, my mom brought a cake, and everybody in line sang happy birthday while I'm camped out waiting for this mortgage.
Doris, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Much appreciation.
Thanks,
And
Darth.
being an Eagles fan in Vegas is tough, hard to keep up with everything in the Eagles news. Well, Mark, rest assured, football season is starting soon. We have you covered.
This is where you come for your news, brother. We got you covered. This is Eagles Central, man. You wait until the season starts. It's going to be football, and football. Especially, we need to sign you up for our fantasy league.
Yes.
Mark would be a perfect candidate.
Yeah, I was hoping he was in chat and you must have fell asleep, but I got another commitment today. We will have a reigning defending champion coming back to try to defend his title in the Basement Show Fantasy League.
Well, he's not defending because he never had to play me.
That's what I did tell him. A little bit harder this year around compared to last year, but he's still up for a challenge. So, Vinny, if you're watching on YouTube, let me know. Hell yeah, I love that. There you go.
I throw down the gauntlet, Vincent.
So,
if you're going to win this championship, you got to come through me.
When we see a Vinny Pellegrino pop up on YouTube, that's who it is.
Okay. All right, Mark's in.
Oh, now we got Dawson on Twitch. He's Pointer Johnny.
There you go. He's jumping all around.
There you go. He's in the chat.
Here we go. I knew he was lurking in there somewhere. See? I got you, man. It's brung. Trust me. You wait. I can't wait.
Now the question is, do we do this like we did last year? Do we live stream our draft? That could get interesting too.
If If you want, we can, I guess. But like you said, the only problem with that is that when it's your pick, if you queue anybody up, everybody's going to see who you're going to pick.
Hey, that's why you have a phone too.
Okay. All right.
I can.
If you can figure out the logistics of it, I don't see any reason why we can't do a live draft.
Well, as Benny was part of it last year, it was a shit show, but we had fun doing it
Yeah.
online.
But you do the online and put the screen up.
Yeah.
Like
Or,
after maybe just after each pick. Like we make the pick and then you put it up on the screen.
yeah, I could do something like that.
So that way you can't see what you're thinking, what you're queuing up.
True. I mean, we'll start a group chat with everybody once we get closer. I mean, I think we're at the 6th now.
Yeah,
I have a couple
Jason's
other
in.
people. So.
Yep.
I mean, I think I got 3 from my Nobody Sports group with Joe Gallagher, who you met during the Super Bowl thing. John Mizzy, who pops in once in a while, and I think my friend Mike might join us as well. So.
Okay.
Do it, man, child. What? Josh trying to be like me and be on all platforms tonight. He's triple tasking.
There you go.
That's my new multitasking.
That's what them streamers can do, man. They can be paying attention to all kinds of different things at once.
Hey, that's fun. Bump my algorithm up. Go ahead, keep going, Josh.
Me, me, I'm like squirrel.
What?
Squirrel.
And then Mark also said, also being a Flyers fan, working for the Golden Knights is also hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Knights are they're pretty strong. They started out of the gate strong, and I think they benefited from the way that they did the expansion draft, and they actually got some decent players to start, and I think that they've been able to build on that, and they built a pretty successful organization very, very quickly, kind of like what the Flyers did when they first came in.
That is true. I mean, I'm not doing the triple shuffle match. Stop it. No. I'm a lifetime Flyers fan, though, but the Knights signed my paycheck.
There you go.
I mean, that makes it a little bit complicated, I'm sure, but Mark, that's why you go into an office or something and corner yourself with OC, you're looking at a monitor. Yes, Flyers scored. But the question is, if the Flyers are playing in Vegas, who do you root for? Oh.
There you go. Thus the conundrum.
I mean, that has to be hard. Being you love a team, but you're working for the other one, and they're playing each other. Oh,
yeah.
Talk about ripping my heart out. I'd be lost.
That's the Josh Harris rule.
Yeah, well, no, Josh Harris just buys one team, but then buys their opponent's rival in almost every sport.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yep, I sure did.
Owns the Sixers, but then buys stake in the Devils, who is the Flyers' rival, but then buys the Washington Commanders, who is the Eagles' rival.
Right. I think that if he doesn't get the stadium deal done, that he's going to dump the Sixers anyway. He'll focus all his attention on Washington because that's where he's from, and he was a childhood fan of the Redskins. So I think that I said a bad word. And I still don't know why they can't name it the Sentinels. I swear. We needed to be the Sentinels, and the first game we needed to play Gary Glitter and have Keanu Reeves lead him out onto the field. Number 16. Shane Falco.
But then they got signed a kicker named Nigel
Gruff. Remember, Nigel, over the bar, not under.
I love that movie. Replacements is such a good movie. Truthfully, I have to go for Vegas. I have a lot invested in them. Plus, they offered me a job when the Flyers passed on me in an interview.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
I will give them that. Indians, Redskins, Blackhawks, Chiefs. I mean,
Well, the Indians are now the Guardians.
yep,
The Redskins are going to be changed again. And the Blackhawks are still the Blackhawks.
that is true.
But they might be next in the radar.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't get used to the Guardians, though.
no.
When we played them, it was just like, what? Huh? What? It's funny. I was watching a minor league all-star game, and there was a team called the Doughboys.
The Doughboys?
Yes.
Interesting. But if you ever offer me a job, I will be out of here with the quickness. I mean,
well,
once
there's a new regime right now in Philly, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to my cousin see if he actually got to keep his job or not. Because my cousin was working for the Flyers last season. I don't know with this new regime if they kept him or not. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of upheaval, but I think that there's definitely a new mindset in the building.
Gotcha. I pulled this up so we can have a laugh real quick.
Hold on.
Hey, nice. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? Good. Good. Great. This is the leg? I thought you told me he was solid muscle. Well, he's much stronger than he looks. I'm wired.
And Wyety. He's in good shape. Yeah, by Welsh standards.
I just had to real quick.
That's awesome. I could watch that movie 1,000 times and still laugh.
Oh, absolutely. That and like the whole the bloody Welsh scene. I mean, he makes that movie. I'm sorry. Besides for Keanu Reeves, the guy that plays Nigel Grubb makes that movie.
He was real good in A First Night with Heath Ledger.
I'm trying to think who it is.
He was pretty good.
Nigel Grubb. Mark wants to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just reading the comment. Go ahead.
Okay. We haven't set a date yet, but we want to finalize the members, and then we will get together on a group chat and decide what's best for everybody. But it'll be sometime in the next 4 weeks prior to the season start. So,
yeah, I'd say probably a tentative date would probably be around probably the last week of August, like the 25th or so. Maybe that Saturday, the 26th.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah.
That way all the preseason games are over with. You know who made teams, who's hurt, who's not. So, I never knew that. So the actor is, what the hell's his name? Reese Imps.
Yeah.
He was actually in Little Nicky.
Yes.
He's Adrian.
He was. Adrian, yeah. And he was in, like I said, he was in
Kingsman.
First Night.
Yeah, that's on here.
He was in Spider-Man. He was the Lizard.
Yeah, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's in actually a lot of good movies. And can I request that do it around the time you guys start your stream? Since I'm on the West Coast, it will be tough for me if we do it early. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll definitely get a consensus, Mark, and we'll make sure everybody who is involved with it is able to do it at the time we set. So
maybe on a Sunday night, or in an evening setting, possibly.
Yeah, because he's out west, so it's 10 o'clock here, so that makes it 8 o'clock in Vegas. Yeah, we'll figure something out. I don't have a problem doing that.
We'll work it all out, but we'll all get together once we have the amount of teams finalized.
7 new, so he's 3 hours behind. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll once we get everything finalized, Mark, I will hit you up and we can go from there. But excited to have you on board.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm going to ask, I'll make it more known again once we get going. But with your team name, you can make any team name you want. I have no offense to it, but just somewhere in your name, make it known who you are. Because like for some people, like Ron might put the Hurricanes. Anyone can be the Hurricanes, but like if you put in parentheses, say like RT or something, put your initials. I know who it is. That way we can keep track that way too. I don't know if that makes sense to you,
Okay.
Ron, or not.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I ran a fantasy league for another stream a couple years ago, and like I asked them to put their name as part of their team name, so I knew who it was. Like Mark's
Well,
example,
just
Mark
put
hates
your team name that you want and then put your initials in parentheses at the end. So it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to be your team name, but it just has to be an identifier so you know that who that person is.
Yeah, like Mark just said, Mark hates some Cowboys. I like that name, so
Yeah.
so. But yeah,
I mean, I've had some original names in my time. I had whoever I drafted in the first round. Like I had a team called My Cup Runneth Over for Cooper Cup. And then I had Ertz So Good. I had Zach Ertz on the team. So Mr. Russo in the
Russo's
house.
in the building. Nice to see him,
Hey, Mike.
Well, I told you the one year that me and my friends did it with the whole Penn State scandal.
Yeah.
Some of those names got kind of interesting. If Vinny's still looking in the chat, he could second that it got very interesting with team names.
Yeah. Well, only one team could be Jerry's kids, so.
Well, we didn't go Jerry's kids. We went Jerry's tight ends.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that could be close to the line.
Witnesses?
Wait, is it Thursday?
I'm just saying. I'll stop. I'm sorry. It couldn't be as bad as my Spank Monkeys team the one year. I gotta take a second. I'm sorry.
That wasn't a man-child moment. That was just a, oh my God, what did I just say moment.
Okay, I'm better now. Oh, shit.
Yeah, sometimes these things just slip out, you can't help it.
No. I'm just going to put this one in the back of my head in shame.
Yeah. There you go. Si, senor.
Si.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to hell. So, what other football news do we have this evening?
Well, we had some injuries around the league in training camp. You had prior to reporting to camp, you had a running back for the Bills in Nigel Himes that is out for the year because of a jet ski accident.
Yep.
You had Kadarius Toney from the Chiefs is going to require surgery. So he's going to be out a while. One of the guys who killed us in the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh. And then the Cowboys, they get Tony Pollard with his injury, so they bring in Ronald Jones. Now, Ronald Jones just got suspended 2 games for a PED violation. Denver lost 2
you got
wide
Kyler
receivers.
Murray, you have Kyler Murray, who's not going to be starting the season.
Nope.
For Arizona. And then you got who else?
Well, like I said, Denver had 2 wide receivers. KJ Hamler just got diagnosed with a heart condition, so he's on. He's out for indefinitely. And then Tim Patrick, who tore his ACL last year during training camp, just ruptured his Achilles today. Now he's done it again for you.
Yeah. You got Joe Burrow, who's got a calf injury, non-contact.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey for the Dolphins.
Jalen Ramsey, yep. So, I mean, there's stuff going on. I mean, I don't know how bad Ramsey was a knee. I don't know how bad Burrow's calf is. So we'll see what happens with that.
I think they're shutting him down for the whole preseason.
Well, they should.
Injury update. Let's see. Bengals got positive update on Burrow. Things are
Hopefully
fine.
it's not an Achilles.
It's simply a strained calf muscle.
Then the way that he came up, it could have been even.
Oh, absolutely.
So Stafford's back to throwing for the Rams. So he's coming back from his shoulder surgery. So he's already throwing in camp.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why I don't like doing fantasy drafts too early, because of stuff like this. You want to wait as long as you possibly can, so you know who's not. So, plus you always have those surprise roster cuts too.
Yeah, that's true.
I asked you guys a question before you mentioned those two guys. You suck. Hey, well, sorry, Mike.
What was the question?
He was asking Ramsey and Burrow injured. Do you guys know how long they will both be out? And we answered the question for him.
Oh, okay.
So he's saying how much we suck.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I think he's just jealous.
No, he's all good.
What site do you guys usually go for your fantasy? I mean, we've talked about ESPN and Yahoo, right?
I've used Yahoo for years. It's my preferred. So,
I mean, I'm not opposed to any of them. I know my big league, I do CBS Sports Line, but I'm not going to have that for a free one. So it'd either be Yahoo or ESPN. So really like Yahoo?
Yeah, I like Yahoo too. So actually, we'll probably go with Yahoo. I like their draft format too. So
Yahoo it is. I have no problem with either of them. So
okay. So the answer is Yahoo. How about you, Mike? You in? Mr. Russo, fantasy football. We're gonna have a basement show league. There's no fee, but there'll be a. I'm going to secure a championship trophy for the winner, which I'll make sure is real nice since it's going to be on my mantle.
Damn. Calling your shots now.
That's right. I told you I'm full of confidence.
Vinny, I hope you're listening to this, dude. Let's see here. Do we want to do points? I can actually set this up right now if you wanted me to.
Yeah, Mike, you're in. If you want to be in, you're in, Butter.
Do you just call him Butter?
Yeah, it was half brother and half something else, and I just came out as Butter. I don't know. Maybe I just needed a.
Whatever you want to call Mike, man, it's my guest. Feel free.
I can't believe he's not Butter.
Nice bread.
Oh boy.
You want me to set this up right now, or you want me to hold off a little bit?
We can do it during the week or whatever, and start sending invites out. I mean, once we have enough that we know how many teams to set it up for.
Okay. Well, so, definitely. I'm thinking
we're going to set a deadline. Let's set a deadline the next Monday. By
Okay.
next Monday, however many teams we have is how many teams we have. Hopefully, it's an even number.
Hopefully.
And if not, we'll convince somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, I messaged somebody else earlier, so they just wrote back to me a little bit ago. So.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. And then,
Yeah.
Mike, once we get everybody set up, then we'll have a group chat and we'll decide on a draft day and time that works for those people that are out on the West Coast.
Yes, because we have Mark and we might have 2 people from Texas.
Okay. Absolutely. Sounds like a plan, sir. So there hasn't been a ton of news coming out of camp. The little trickles I've heard here and there so far say that Nolan Smith has been pretty impressive behind the podium and on the field. Jordan Davis looks in good shape and looks like he's much improved. Now remember, they're not doing a lot of hitting yet, and I mean, really, honestly, they don't. The Eagles do not do a lot of full contact in training camp, and thus the reason last year all 22 starters started in the Super Bowl. You really can't. There's more and more teams that are going in that direction on minimizing the amount of time that veterans are spending live hitting or playing in preseason games, which is why in the first game of the season you see a lot of bad tackling because they're just not tackling in practice.
That is very true. I will give you that.
First pick, Randall Cunningham. Boo! Oh no, that's McNabb. I'm sorry. Wrong quarterback.
Jordan Davis' biggest problem has really always been work ethic. That was coming out of Georgia. I mean,
yeah, but remember, he's got a guy like Fletcher Cox standing next to him, and Brandon Graham, and these guys are going to light a fire under him. I guarantee you. Plus, having his teammate next to him and one behind him ain't going to hurt either. So maybe he gets in a little bit better comfort zone. I mean, he did get hurt last year. And then when he came back, it was an ankle. So he wasn't really, there was word that he may not have been 100%. But this year he has no excuses. He's got to step up and he's got to, because they're really depending on him and Carter up the middle to really kind of hold the line in the center of that line. So hopefully they're going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the new Kelly Green uniforms? They were awesome. We have. And we were talking about the craziness and the hysteria of people waiting out 3 o'clock in the morning for it. But then I got put in my place for waiting outside for a video game. So. That is why John Carter is a perfect match from Philly. He would need Fletcher Cox. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I love that statement, Mark. That is a spot on statement.
He's going to, those guys are going to keep him on the straight and narrow. And actually, also, Hugh Douglas has been spending some time speaking to him at camp and stuff too. So, yeah, I know that Hugh had a history of doing a little partying in his day, but he's a little bit more of a stable force these days.
Yeah,
he's not in hot Atlanta in the strip clubs like he used to be.
John, I have waited several times for midnight video game releases, so I'm with you. See, Mike's just
exactly
as I am.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying don't call the kettle black, man. That's all I'm saying.
Kettle black.
Yeah, you never heard that expression?
I have not.
Okay. That's an expression.
Okay. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to look this up.
Okay. when somebody makes a statement that's along those lines, that's contradictory, and you say it's like the calling the kettle black.
Okay. I
I'm
see
in
what you mean.
line for the jersey. You're standing in line right now, Mike? Where at?
Yeah. Well, at 10 o'clock
Rally?
tonight.
Rally, probably Rally House. Because I think Rally House got him today too. And so did Mitchell and Ness.
Make sure
And
that's
the
good, but
and there's an Eagles store in Cherry Hill too.
yeah, by my job.
Yeah.
They said it was wrapped around the building 3 times this morning at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
People that were going in the Wegmans were laughing at them.
So you're actually physically in the line right now, Mike?
I was thrilled when Carter fell to us. The most disappointed I was with our draft when we chose Derek Barnett. Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of people say that about when we didn't pick Justin Jefferson.
Oh.
When we let Justin Jefferson go by.
No.
And for who? Do you remember?
Yes. No. Maybe. Hey,
The
but just
wrong
think
wide
that
receiver. Jalen Rager. That's
no,
correct.
boy, don't his name not out of my chat. How do I delete comments? Funny thing is now, Joe Vega and Justin Jefferson are teammates.
True. Well, yeah. I think that Jefferson's got a little more sway than Jalen Rager does.
I'm in line for them in my front yard.
Oh, in your front yard. I thought you were like in a, at a store or something.
Mike's tailgating in his front yard.
He got here early. Nice.
May I try to forget that one? I have no words.
The draft is the draft. Sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a no. It's like, you can't dwell on the past. You have to move forward. Right now, on paper, you've got one of the stronger rosters in the league. Now it's just a matter of if everybody pans out the way they're supposed to.
True. Rager wasn't one of Howie's picks, was he? I think he was.
Yeah, he was. But I think at the time, I think that Lurie was a little more involved than he is now. I think after that one, I think Lurie backed off. Because the rumor out there was, that Lurie had something to do with that pick. So I don't know.
Well, because I think at the time, Rager's dad was an assistant coach with somebody with the Eagles.
Really?
So, I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, there had to be some reason. I thought because he was, didn't he go to school in the West Coast?
Rager went to CCU.
CCU.
TCU.
TCU.
Yeah.
Texas. Okay.
Texas Christian University.
Yeah. No, Howie doesn't miss too often. You're correct. He's had more hits than misses since it was solely his show. Back when he got put in the broom closet during the Buddy years.
Kelly. Well, in the Chip Kelly deal.
The Chip Kelly years. Yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah, they gave him a jar of pickle juice and told him to go, count jock straps.
Mike Swift.
You mean DeAndre Swift?
I was going to say, who the hell is Mike Swift?
He's like Mike Quick, only newer.
Oh, okay.
If you mean DeAndre Swift, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see how that backfield shakes out. I don't really know. I don't think anybody really knows who. It's going to definitely be some kind of committee. I mean, but you know, Penny is more of a straightforward runner.
Yep.
Swift is a more side to side kind of guy who can also catch out of the backfield, which I think will be a big important part of having Jalen have to run around a little bit less than he did last year. I think that's going to afford him just um, another outlet out of the backfield where, you know, Miles Sanders is not that guy. He just did
No.
not have good hands at all. And DeAndre Swift is exactly the opposite.
True.
Yep. But yeah, Gainwell and DeAndre Swift are going to be your speed guys, and then Penny's going to be your power guy, which means, you know, maybe not as many tush pushes. When they need like 2 yards.
I agree.
For 1 yard, absolutely. But those 2 and 3 yard ones, you know, if Penny stays healthy, you know, Penny can push through that line pretty good.
True. We ruined Mike's joke. He went, oops, Mike Quick, laugh out loud. I blew that joke. Swift
You
might
had the
be
right
good
idea,
flex
Mike.
guy. Might be a good flex guy, but Penny will be the red zone guy.
Well, I think that honestly, no matter what you say, Jalen Hurts is the red zone guy.
Yeah.
I unless it's you know, like a 3 yard run. I think anything 1 or 2 yards, I think that's Jalen Hurts all the way.
I could agree with that.
But you
Yeah.
never know. But you never know.
Hey guys, do you think the pros will ever use that hide the midget play from college football? Mike's on fire tonight.
The midget.
Mike's feeling something funky tonight. Midgets, Mike
That's it.
Swift. And Mark
That's
said he
it.
can't.
That sounds like my wedding night.
Huh?
Hide the midget.
I don't want to know. I'm sorry I asked.
Think about it for a minute. It'll come to you.
Okay. And Mark said he can't argue with your statement about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's just in his DNA. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I think that after pulling off the greatest single trick play in NFL history, I think anything else would pale in comparison.
Well, you're talking the Philly special, right?
Yep.
Okay. Left him out for run and left. Why is everyone got to pick on me? I'm innocent. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
What are you trying to say, man? Let's go. You want to fight? What did I do to you guys tonight? Okay, I just started the show like a human being.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I don't want to do this show anymore. I quit.
Oh man. So anyway,
I'm trying to.
what else is going on in the sports world these days?
Well, you have the next pay-per-view this week.
Mike, I will look it up because I'm not really sure how that play went. So, but I will be looking it up after the show tonight.
Saturday it is SummerSlam,
SummerSlam. Whoa, that came up on us quick.
and you have 8 matches right now.
Yeah, you got the card.
I have it right in front of me.
Let's run it down.
All right. You have Cody Rhodes versus Brock, round 3.
Okay, prediction.
I think they put Cody over. I mean, this is supposed to end the feud with Brock once and for all.
So
I
this
think
was one. This is the rubber match, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Cody. I think that they have to. I think Brock is going to cut down his dates again. I think you're at some point you're only going to see Brock in Saudi Arabia
Maybe. You never know.
and maybe a WrestleMania here or there in the undercard. But I think his days of headlining are pretty much disappearing just because he doesn't want to spend time on the build because he only has so many dates.
Well, there's rumors that they're going to have someone get involved in this match and start Cody's next feud. Because there's a certain somebody who has just recently cleared to come back full time.
Okay.
So like Mark says, they have to keep building Cody. So you finish one story, but then you jump into the next one.
And who would that be?
Supposedly it's Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. But I mean, do you throw Bray right in with Cody? It's supposedly Bray and Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
Apparently, Eric Rowan has thrown up some cryptic tweets on Twitter, or Eric Redbeard, as he was known in AEW.
Nice. Mark has also heard that his next would be Bray, so curious to find that one out.
We got an invitation there.
That's all. I think I'm working Saturday night.
Unfortunately, Mike, on Saturday, I will be in Wildwood for my annual Spartans on the Sand reunion, which I am a part organizer of the event. So I will be in Wildwood, New Jersey, and I'll probably be watching a little bit of it on my phone.
So I think we all agree that Cody has that one.
But thanks for the invite, though.
Then I will bring my TV to you.
There you go.
All right. Then we have Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Seth. You can't. No.
See,
Balor.
This one could get interesting though, because Damian Priest still has Money in the Bank. You guys should do a watch party one evening for one of these pay-per-views. Mike, if I wasn't afraid of copywriting, I would do it in a heartbeat. Trust me. But yeah, I would watch out for Damian Priest as a wild card in this match.
Well, I'm not saying he couldn't be involved. I mean, the only thing that I proposed a couple weeks ago, if you remember, was Finn beating Seth, but then Damian pinning Finn and Damian taking the belt.
Yeah.
And then set up a Damian Seth program.
Anything's possible, that's for sure. But I think Seth holds on to the belt myself.
But so. Seth is over. He's just over. I mean, I don't see how he's not even over. Finn is not even a portion as much over as Seth is.
True. All right. Next, you have a triple threat match. You have Asuka, Charlotte Flair. Well, Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Championship. And Asuka has the belt right now.
Can't put it back on Charlotte again.
I hope not.
I am so sick of Charlotte Flair. I mean, I'd rather have Bianca get it back.
I like to see Asuka hold it for a while.
Than see it go to Flair. I wouldn't mind Asuka holding it. Yeah, I mean, she's always been a good worker. I mean, she's always done everything above and beyond for the company, even when they didn't have her in the best programs. So I have no problem with Asuka keeping the belt.
Well, I'm telling you, Mike's on something. Mike's on something. I want what he has.
Paul Orndorff over Logan Paul. The
So
Killer Bees win the tag team title.
So I think we're all in agreement. Again, we all have Asuka.
Yeah.
Right. The next one is a tribal combat for the Undisputed Championship and recognition of Tribal Chief. You have Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. And a lot of people have been pulling for Jey Uso.
I would love to see Jey, just because they need to get Roman some time off. But I don't think it's going to happen. He's not going to miss WrestleMania.
That's a long stretch to go.
The only thing I can think is that The Rock makes an appearance. There's been rumor that The Rock's going to make an appearance to set up the potential of a WrestleMania moment for Rock and Roman.
I guess that's one that we wait and see, because I wouldn't mind seeing Cody versus Seth for that championship. I mean, I think that'd be a hell of a match.
Yeah. She can have all her plastic surgeries and go hide in a closet somewhere.
Mark says
and not the one that I used to hide in either.
Hard one for real. The Rock or Rikishi. That'd be an interesting one to bring back.
Yeah. Well, Rikishi's been out there before.
Not recently, though. So, I mean, I gotta agree with you, though, Ron. I don't think you can't have Reigns drop a belt like this with this much magnitude.
Yeah.
How far he's come, to see him lose to his cousin, it'd be mind blowing.
After a 3-year program of holding the belt.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that's got to be a WrestleMania moment when he finally drops it.
Yeah.
That's a moment which is almost as shocking as when the Undertaker broke the streak, when Brock broke the Undertaker's streak. How the crowd reacted. I think that they're looking for another one of those kind of reactions.
Yeah, that's possible. All right, we had talked about this one last week. You have Ricochet versus Logan Paul.
It should be a great match. I really do. And a lot of people, you know, are not big Logan Paul fans. And I got to tell you, of all the celebrities that have ever gotten involved, I think that you have to put Logan Paul right up there with maybe you had Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, who both are really legitimate talents, who trained extremely hard to hold these spots. So much so that Triple H went back and actually signed Logan Paul to not to a celebrity contract, but to an actual contract.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Brawler over Jey Uso. Steve Lombardi is back from the dead. I think he's dead.
I like Jay, but does Roman drop the title to a career tag team guy? Another good point by Mark.
Yeah. But Roman is owed some time off. And it's just a matter of making sure enough of this storyline is complete in order to give him that time off. And then maybe even sometime in the future, pick up a portion of it after giving people a break from it.
Yeah. And, bro, I love this match. I would bring the house down. Logan Paul is an awesome heel.
Yeah. And Ricochet is finally getting some recognition, which, you know, I've been saying for a long time, he's a great talent that gets overlooked. Extremely acrobatic, a good worker, safe worker, very important. When you're that kind of a flyer, You know, safety is paramount. So,
yeah. I mean, this match could go either way. Then, if you really think about it,
it really is. Yeah, I mean, Logan Paul. The mic work is one thing, but putting in the time to do some of the spots that he did. I mean, you wouldn't expect a celebrity to be doing ladder spots.
True.
And he did a crazy ass ladder spot, and nobody got hurt. That's the key. That comes down to training, and that comes down to taking the craft seriously, because you know that it's only inches difference between a beautiful looking spot and somebody getting messed up really bad.
Yeah. Well, look at the spot he did at WrestleMania with him and Rollins and KSI. Great show, guys. I have to pick up my daughter. Would really love to talk about wrestling in general. Oh, and LA Knight is my new favorite. Already got his 2 T-shirts.
Yeah.
That one hasn't been made official yet, but I think that's coming this Friday.
Yeah. I like LA Knight. I mean, he's up there in age a little bit. So I mean, his time is probably going to be limited, but I mean, he's still a damn good worker, and he is uber over with the crowd. I mean, he's over like crazy over right now, and they're not even pushing him, and he's over.
Yeah.
Just imagine if he was getting a push.
True. And then Mark says Logan Paul and Rollins was the best match at WrestleMania. Definitely debatable, but I think they're just trying to figure out what to do with Knight. I mean, they might have a match with him. They might wait till Friday to announce it, but I'm really thinking they're going to do LA Knight versus Austin Theory and finally put a singles belt on LA Knight.
I agree. I'm done with Theory too.
So I think you might see that announcement be made either tonight on Raw or Friday on SmackDown.
Yep.
SummerSlam being this Saturday.
I agree.
So
I would love to see him take some gold, and I'd especially like if it was off of Austin Theory.
Now, my question before we move on to the next one: who takes the bigger spot on Saturday, Ricochet or Logan Paul? Who does something that you're saying like, "Holy shit, did he just do?"
I think they both have one spot. I think that they're both gonna do something that's gonna be one of those oh shit moments.
They're my favorite kind.
You know, I just get that feeling. But in a standard match, you know, if it was a ladder match or if it was something else like that or a no holds barred, you know, then that kind of increases the level of difficulty of the spot. You're limited to kind of what you can do in the ring. So or vaulting out of the ring.
True.
But I think they both do at least one oh shit spot.
Okay. Fair enough. Mark, do you have any say on that one before I move on? I know there's a bit of a delay on
Yeah,
Facebook.
Mark, I agree, man. He's just there now. I mean, you know, the only reason he's still even there is because Vince got a little bit of sway back. You know, when he came back.
Love it.
You know, but I think if it wasn't for that, he would have already been would not have had the belt if it was up to Triple H alone.
One of the greatest moves I've ever seen was Logan Paul, and I think Ricochet did a double crossbody from across the ring from each other. Yes, so it was Logan Paul, and that was at the Royal Rumble.
Yep. Yeah, and for him to get that kind of distance on that, you know, I mean that impact felt real.
Yeah. All right. Next, you have a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. You have Gunther and the rest of Imperium versus a returning Drew McIntyre. Because
This is maybe the toughest call on the card. All right, Michael, take care, man.
see you, Bruce. I like Drew in this one. So Mark's taking a shot and saying that they're going to end the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship title run.
This almost feels like a setup for a WrestleMania match. I think that because there wasn't a huge feud leading in, that there's going to be a huge feud laying out. So maybe there's a no decision, and maybe they drag a program on into WrestleMania.
That's a long program.
I know, but I mean, they got to have something to do with Drew.
Yeah.
I mean, they really haven't had much for him so far.
Well, he's just coming back from a neck injury, ain't
Right, yeah, but I mean, they haven't really put him in as a long program.
he? True. I mean,
They
this
kind
one's a
of
toss up.
threw this one. They kind of threw this one together at the last minute
True.
because I don't think they know what to do with Gunther. Honestly,
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying a toss up. This could go either way. They're both very hard hitters, that's for sure.
see, I think somewhere along the line, I think that the rest of Imperium turns on Gunther at some point in the future, and then they split off into the tag team division.
Okay. I mean, that could be
with
something.
Kaiser, yeah,
Good possibility.
somewhere down the road, not
Yeah.
necessarily soon.
I believe you can have an argument for either guy. Best
Yeah.
way to put it, Mike.
You really can. I mean, Gunther's held it for a while. The question is, how many belts do you want to strip? Have change hands at a SummerSlam, and then probably just switch them to somebody else at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And now the one match that everyone's probably not looking forward to see. Hello, Gary. Nice to see you.
Hey, Gary.
We have an MMA rules match. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. Is that what you think about it? No comment? Just I'm going to take a drink from my iced
Yeah, I had to have a drink on that one.
I really don't care.
I don't think many people do care, honestly.
Batsman break.
Rousey's on the way out.
Yeah.
She's probably going to put Baszler over, in my opinion. I think Baszler takes the win just to help build her. With Ronda out, her contract expires the day after WrestleMania.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm just curious to see what MMA rules is all about. So, the Rousey experience was a big flop because they didn't know what to do with her. They couldn't use her right.
Creative failed. I mean, they had an opportunity, and they started off strong, and then they just got lost. Ronda never really got good on the mic. That was probably the thing that was the biggest deterrent to her really becoming big. Was that she just never got the mic skills. And she's hard to take seriously as a heel when she puts on that stupid makeup. Seriously. I mean, the way that they make up her face with the eyeshadow and all the other stuff that's supposed to make her, look mean, and she just looks like a clown.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I mean, you're right. But Shayna's the same way with her eyelashes and all that crazy shit too.
Yeah, but Shayna has a darker hair and a darker complexion, and it works a little better for her than it does for Ronda. Ronda's, it doesn't look natural on Ronda. It looks natural on Shayna because Shayna was always a good heel. And when she puts that mouthpiece in, it accentuates it.
Okay, I can see your point.
My
And then-
opinion.
Yeah, and then the last one is to be confirmed still, but there are some participants who have been named for this. As of tomorrow's date, you have a SummerSlam Battle Royal.
Okay.
And as of now, you have 6 people confirmed for it.
Right.
And one's going to piss you off because I was wrong. So far, the confirmed wrestlers for this event are Chad Gable, Otis, so you have Alpha Academy,
Mm-hmm.
Shinsuke Nakamura,
Mm-hmm.
Tomas Ciampa, or Ciampa, whatever his last name is,
Ciampa, yeah.
Sheamus,
Okay.
and last but not least, LA Knight.
Okay.
So, I mean, you only have 6 so far, so I'm sure this is going to get bigger as the week goes. But
Right, but they haven't announced what the winner gets.
Yeah.
Is it a title opportunity? Is it whatever? You know, there's not been any direction as to why they're having this battle royal. They're just having a battle royal.
fuck, well, Austin Theory and this make it a SummerSlam US Title Championship Battle Royal. I don't know. But just
I
to
don't
see
know.
LA Knight confirmed for this already means to me that
Yeah.
Austin Theory, yet again, is not defending that US title.
Yep.
Which kind of lame. But
Well,
in the same
unless they offer that as the winner of the battle royal gets a shot at the US title. And then
True.
let Knight win the Rumble. And then there's your Knight and Theory match going forward.
Yeah, I mean, having the LA Knight and Amina in this battle royal is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, especially with how much he's over right now with the crowd, to throw him into a type of match like this and not have anything on the line is dumb.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Just for some reason, they're just not, they're not pushing him because of his age.
No.
I mean, honestly. And it's sad to say, but I really think that's part of it.
And then another championship you don't see on this card is the tag team titles. And that is because Kevin Owens is hurt right now.
Kevin's hurt. Yeah.
With a couple of fractured ribs.
Yep.
So there have been talks that they have to relinquish the tag team titles to the point that they would be starting like a tag team tournament to declare new winners.
Okay.
So, I mean, it sucks to see Owens get hurt because him and Zayn make the hell of a tag team, and for once they actually get along, and now you have something like that rip them apart.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, I could see, like, before maybe, like, a Dirty Dom and Damien teaming up and making a tag team, but now that Dirty Dom has the, North American Championship of NXT, they're not going to do nothing.
Let me lay this one on you.
Okay.
Here's the WrestleMania match for you. KO versus Sammy.
Oh, they would tear down the place. They would go nuts.
It's coming. It's coming. That's my bold prediction for the week. WrestleMania, KO versus Sammy.
Okay. And if you're right, I'll give you a round of applause and a standing ovation.
Okay. Fair enough.
SummerSlam used to be the biggest pay-per-view, so to not have the U.S. title on the line doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but they're protecting Austin Theory's constantly. I mean, he's not, he hasn't defended it in a competitive match in quite a while.
Absolutely.
And he's a paper champion, and they need to end that.
Yeah.
But Sammy versus KO would be, that's money. That's just a money match.
Oh, absolutely. There's no ins, ifs, buts, or buts about that one.
They teased it before, but they never had it.
Yeah, no, I remember. They had teased that for a while.
Yeah, during the
Let's
whole
see.
Sammy's in the bloodline thing.
True.
So they're finally going to pay that off.
Only time will tell.
Yep.
I mean, you got to do something big to hit WrestleMania, 40 next year, in a city like Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to jump off the roof for the link?
Philly Philly crowd, you gotta give a little extra, because that crowd will be hot.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Let's see what's going on right now. Without. Oh, yeah, that was the main event. Share screen. Main event right now, you have Rollins and Zayn versus Damien and Dirty Dom. So, I mean,
Okay.
it's almost over, but I just figured I'd pop it in for a second.
Yep.
I just put it on to see what the main event was.
Yep.
But
yeah, Sammy is it has been over for some time now, and KO is always a crowd favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that would definitely be a what they call it, a banger, like Sheamus would say.
Yeah, something else that you can say banger about right now. The rumor is Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley actually have split up, and her and Dom might be a thing now. Because people at backstage have seen them getting closer and closer, even off camera.
Ooh.
I mean,
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. I mean, love happens in mysterious ways.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what they always say.
You can only get spanked by mommy so many times before it starts counting.
Sorry. I tried doing that. I get a smacking motion.
Yep.
But I don't know. Anything else?
Well, and then you also have to be on Bray Wyatt alert for SummerSlam too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking more and more like that's coming soon. Mm-hmm. So I would not be surprised to see a Eric Rowan Bray Wyatt appearance sometime soon.
Dirty Dom might want to watch his ass, but Matthews doesn't want to mess with him. I agree with that. But if you remember months back, they did a whole storyline with Buddy Matthews and Dom's sister.
Yep.
So maybe this is Dom getting back at Buddy Matthews for that story.
Yep, maybe.
So, I mean, only time will tell. I'm just surprised that they're still pushing this story as long as they are with those two.
Yeah.
More power to them.
But, I mean, Dom's turned into a pretty decent heel.
He has, yes.
I mean, for a rough start, he's coming into his own a little bit.
But how much is that to think for Rhea?
I don't know, but he's got some serious heat with the crowds.
Yeah, so and Shawn Michaels apparently too.
Yeah.
Because Shawn Michaels went to shake his hand after last Wednesday, said to congratulate him on his win, and Rhea stepped in and said, don't shake his hand, just keep walking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, wrestling is a never-ending soap opera. One week you have one thing, then the next week you have something completely different.
It's true.
So next week we'll touch base on the SummerSlam results, and we'll go from there.
Yep. And then we'll have, we'll be a week closer to that first preseason game. Maybe we'll have some more news coming out of training camp. We'll know how the Phillies fared this week.
Yep.
With an important week coming up this week with the Marlins, and then I think the next series is who?
Give me one
Who they
second.
got after the Marlins?
Let's see. Philadelphia Phillies.
I know they don't have a day off till later in the week.
Let's see. Schedule. So we have Miami for 4. Then you come home for Kansas City over the weekend
Kansas City, that's right. Yeah.
for 3. Then you have Nationals for 4. Then you have a 3-game series versus the Minnesota Twins at home. Then you have August 14th off, but then you're up in Toronto for 2.
Okay.
So your
Seth
next
and
day off
Sammy-
for Philly.
Seth and Sammy won the match.
There you go. I figured
Thanks,
they would.
Mark.
So Phillies don't have a day off till August 14th.
Yep. But most of the month of August is at home,
Yes.
with just a couple of days exception.
Yep. The 3 in Miami, 2 in Toronto, and then you have a 3-game weekend series in Washington. But then you're
Right.
home versus the Giants, Cardinals, and Angels to finish out August.
Yep.
That's a pretty tough month.
Yeah. But mostly at home, so
Which is saving grace, yes.
yeah. And you got West Coast teams coming in, so
Well,
travel.
time to nut up or shut up.
Yeah, basically. That's about right.
Best way to put it.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, I think I didn't have anything else for tonight.
No. So
Any NASCAR report for this week?
No, okay, I didn't watch the race, but I heard Chris Buescher won.
Okay.
RFK Racing, Roush, Fenway, Keselowski. So what
Was
game
that
are we going
Did you
to?
just say English words or?
Yeah.
I just didn't know what you just said. I was just like,
RFK. Roush,
Okay.
Fenway, Keselowski. It's
okay.
Brett
Gotcha.
Keselowski's last name.
Yeah. Now Johnny's in charge of the NASCAR report, Mark. That's his deal.
Easy to.
He's the NASCAR guy in the crowd.
Hey, I grew up on it. I can't help it. Leave me alone. Don't
It
make me
wasn't
be.
said as a bad thing.
I don't want
I
to be a man
defer.
the last 5 minutes of the show.
I defer to your knowledge, sir, when it comes to driving around and making left turns.
Here, I won't be a bench. I'll just do this. See, that's how you teach Ryan a lesson. You back him out of his own show.
Nice. It's kind of the reverse man child.
Put Ron in the corner. Put Ron in timeout.
Yeah, back in the closet.
I mean, hey, you said it, not me. So
Yeah. We'll have to pull that out and play that again sometime. Maybe for the anniversary show.
yeah, that's coming up fast too.
Yep.
So what game are we going to? I mean, are you talking Phillies game, Eagles game, Sixers game, Flyers game, NASCAR race? You gotta be a little bit more specific. And Mark said he grew up in the South, and I still couldn't get into it. Mark, you're in the homeland of NASCAR. The South is where NASCAR was formed. I'm not gonna do it. Ron, wrap it up.
Okay. We'll let John take a little break for a second. We'll just thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate you all. Make sure and like, follow, and share for us. Make sure you're continuing to spread the word. We're nothing without you guys. So the more people we can make aware of what we do here on a weekly basis, the better. There's something for everybody during the course of the week. We got every Monday with me and Johnny here on Sports Gladiators. Tuesday, we've got entertainment night with the girls, Shannon and Morgan. So they're always here to entertain you guys. Wednesday night, TNT, TV and trivia night with me and Johnny. Thursday night, the Reverend Grimm Show, 18 plus. If you'd like to be on the mature chat, you can switch on over to Twitch, where you're less likely to get a ban for some of the craziness that happens on a weekly basis on Thursday night, more affectionately known as the shit show. And then on Friday, the longest running show on the Basement Show, that's movie night, and that's me and Johnny back as well. So something for everybody. Always time to spread the word to make sure that we build up our channel the best we can, and we're always open to suggestions. If you have anything you'd like to see or hear, make sure you let us know. We'll be very receptive to your feedback, and we've done shows previously based on viewer suggestions, so it's all up to what you guys want to see and hear, but we can't do it without you, so we appreciate you all. So in the chat tonight were
Gary stopped by. Mark, awesome hanging out here. Hope it was good to see you in chat. We'll get you more fancy information as we get it set up. Mike Russo, he was on a different level tonight. But thanks, Mike, for hopping in. Who else do we have in here? We had Darth on all 3 platforms. Thank you, Darth, for love on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Diamond popped in on Twitch. My friend Vinny laid down the challenge of Ron. He's going to try to bring back his fantasy football championship this year. Big Mike stopped in for a couple minutes. Chris, Jack said hello. Who else do we have?
Amber.
Amber with the hey, you guys. Curtis, while he was on vacation. Curtis, hope you have a good vacation with the family. So, yeah, we had a decent show tonight. A lot of people popped in. Make sure to always drop us a like when you stop by so we know that you
Did you say
content.
Mike? Big Mike, yeah. You did say Big Mike,
yeah.
Right?
Okay. And I said Mike Russo was on something else tonight.
And Chris,
Mark, Vinny, Dorth, Diamond.
Okay. So I want to make sure we didn't miss anybody.
Yeah. So, Gary, I don't know about the Phillies game. That's something me and Ryan would talk about. If not this season, for sure next season. We'll try to get another Basement Show Phillies game going for next year to see what happens. It might be a little too late in the season now to get a good price on tickets.
Yeah.
And then as far as entertainment,
is Gary local?
He's in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill. Well, maybe Gary might want to come to the live remote.
Yeah, on December 3rd, right?
December 3rd with the 40 Winers.
Yeah,
we're going to be on location at the wonderful world of Oz, my personal Eagle sanctuary.
And
we'll be doing a live show.
Gary is actually a friend of mine from work. We work together at Wegmans. Gary is my spokesperson for Wegmans.
Okay.
Every time I walk by the seafood department, hey, it's the Basement Show, Mr. Knast. Like,
nice.
And then he'll tell the people, hey, he has a show. Have you watched it yet? So Gary's always spreading the world. Appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
Unfortunately, we didn't hit our goal of 450 unless in the next 52 minutes we get 15 new followers on Facebook. But I can't thank everybody enough for the end of the support. We will still do a giveaway of some sort. I'm feeling generous. Maybe it won't be a $50 gift card, but maybe like a $25 one. I'll talk to everybody off show about it. But I want to say thank you to everyone who does support the show. It means an awful lot that you take your time out to hang out with us, participate in the chat, keep us going. Without, like Ron always says, without you guys in chat, the show doesn't happen. So, thank you for all the support you have given us. August 15th, we hit our 1 year here in the Basement Show. We are starting to plan a special show for that. So keep that on your calendar. It will be a Tuesday night show. And then tomorrow night, I am filling in, so you'll see me on Entertainment Night with Miss Shannon. Don't know exactly what we have planned for the tomorrow night. Still letting her plan the show, but Miss Morgan has something to take care of, so I am going to be on with Miss Shannon tomorrow night as well. So I'll probably be on all 5 nights this week. So you're stuck with Mr. Knast whether you like it or not. But other than that, hope everyone has a good night. And we will see you next time around tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.